NBC4 News.
Okay, thank you. Breaking news here in Granada Hills. Gil Davis overhead the scene of news shot before a police pursuit. Gil?
That's right, Michael. We're looking at this vehicle here, this blue Toyota, we believe it is, a stolen vehicle. It's a low-jack vehicle. The LAPD has been in pursuit for the last 10 minutes at least on this vehicle. They did have units behind this suspect, but now they have pulled off. They've gone into tracking mode with the helicopter overhead. He's northbound now, Louise from Chatsworth, and continuing on. They're continuing to track this vehicle, and they do have units in close proximity to this vehicle, and you can see the driver there on a cell phone. We believe he's the only one in the vehicle. Again, this pursuit starting about 10 minutes. Prior to that, they tracked it for another good 10 minutes before they actually tried to stop the vehicle. That's when the car took off, and now we're continuing on this this street with a lot of trees on it here and there. There's an opening there. We can take a look at him. Again, no units directly behind him, but they are in the area, standing by to move in on that driver if he continues to go on this pursuit much longer.
All right, Gil, we understand it was LAPD West Valley Division that started that. Where did the chase start? And again, you say this is a stolen vehicle, they're thinking?
It definitely is a stolen vehicle. That's what we're hearing. This pursuit started near the Van Nuys Airport, just west of that Van Nuys Airport area, and it continued to stay in this relative area. Again, we're having some trees there in the way, but we're going to get around there. But there wasn't a whole lot of erratic driving. We've seen this driver run some stop signs, a couple of red lights, but continuing to drive at a rather slow rate of speed, but only because there's no units directly behind him.
Yeah, Gil, you said that the LAPD is now in tracking mode. The reason behind they decided to pull back a little as opposed to getting on this guy's tail?
You know, normally they would stay on a pursuit like this if he was driving at this rate of speed. We don't have confirmation if he started to drive erratically, and that's why they pulled off. We're not exactly sure why they decided to pull off, but they decided to give this guy some breathing room to think about what he's doing, and maybe he'll pull over and give it up, but he's not. He's continuing on right now through a residential area. You can see that right turn there coming back towards us, and it doesn't seem like he knows exactly where he's at. He's just been driving in this pattern on and off throughout this pursuit, just driving through residential neighborhoods and then getting on some major streets, but again, not really any direction per se.
He could be looking for a place to either get out or come up with some sort of a plan. We see him come to the intersection there and once again making a turn in this residential area, which we've seen all too many times. Makes you nervous because people can be out on Sunday. Kids are playing, people walking, bicycling. We haven't seen that per se, but you do have to worry about that. One thing you said, he hasn't been traveling at a high rate of speed, correct?
That's correct, Kathy. He's continued at this rate of speed, but you can see how he turns those corners. He has run stop signs. He has gone around. Is pit qualified. So there you go. There he is right there as I'm talking about it. They're in there now, and let's see what happens with his driving habits.
And Gil, conditions must be spot on for a pit maneuver, correct?
It has to be spot on. You can see here, not a whole lot of traffic, and you can see that officer getting into position for that pit. He might do it right here. Here it goes. There it is. There's the pit.
There we go.
Yes. Spinning him out. The driver with his hand out the window. That's going to disable that vehicle. You can see how it's just kind of going into like a neutral. He's going to see. Let's see. He's going to try to start it. You can see that. Having a hard time starting. That's the idea. Nope, he got it started. So usually that knocks the vehicle out of commission, but he's back in business here again, going towards that San Fernando mission. Here we go. Here's the vehicle again coming in, the LAPD vehicle, westbound San Fernando mission from Balboa. That was Balboa that they did that pit maneuver on. And let's see if they try it again. But you can see the suspect has sped up here. The speed's increasing as that pit maneuver unfortunately failed, and he's continuing on.
It was textbook, though, absolutely perfect. No one injured. It was done very well. It just didn't disable this driver as they continue. They'll probably try it again, is what we're thinking. Here they are in neighborhood streets. They look like they want this to come to an end.
Yeah, most definitely. They will definitely try to hit this guy once more. Again, though, he dives into a neighborhood, and that seems to be his protection for him. But as soon as he gets on those major streets, they want to do that pit maneuver. They may not do one here in this neighborhood because they don't want the vehicle to run over somebody or, possibly crash into a house if he was to lose control. So they'll wait for that major street that he'll get onto and try the pit there. We're running that stoplight, continuing on.
Yeah, you talk about the vehicle, the police vehicle being pit certified, as you mentioned. Of course, we talk about conditions must be spot on in order for it to be successful. Engaging in a residential neighborhood like that, Gil, is not part of what protocol stands for, right?
Not necessarily. I mean, I guess it depends on the situation. If this was an armed and dangerous individual, that might be the case. But again, it depends on the conditions out there in the neighborhood and so on. But here you can see him on a major street here, and he's going to...
Toyota low-jack vehicle that the police have been trailing now for about 40 minutes. All of this starting near the Van Nuys Airport. This is a stolen vehicle suspect.
Yeah, the West Valley Division actually picked this up with the LAPD, and as Gil mentioned at the top of the hour, that it was tracking this vehicle. But again, things have gotten a little more dicey as time has gone on. We've seen this driver throw something out of the window. A police cruiser now on the tail of this vehicle. Again, things have become a little more erratic. We see the driver there. It appears to be he's on a cell phone, and that was something he was doing prior to the picture that you're looking at now. So again, LAPD in pursuit of this stolen vehicle suspect, this blue Toyota, primarily in the Granada Hills area. We've seen this driver primarily on San Fernando Mission Road. A pit maneuver was just executed not too far from this location over on Balboa. Was not able to disable that car as we again lose our picture once again from News Chapter 4.
It was a perfect pit maneuver though, but he had trouble getting the car started, was able to get it started, and now we continue. You can see it there. Police make the turn with him, although cautiously. Gil, how many officers are behind him at this point?
Kathy, it looks like there's 2 units right now, but I know there's more in trail. And I apologize for the breakup there, but we're going to continue on here. Now, you were saying earlier that on the turns, doing a pit maneuver on a turn is a good spot to do it because the driver does have to slow down in order to make that turn, and that's usually where we'll see a pit maneuver whenever a car is turning. That's a good spot to do that. But again, continuing here on, trying to get the street for you here, westbound. Coming up to an intersection here. Let's see what he does. He's got a green light. That's good. Right through that intersection. That was Zelza. This is Devonshire. He's on westbound Devonshire from Zelza. And continuing on, it looks like the driver is back on his cell phone. Or at least he was there a minute ago.
Not behaving as erratically as he was. We were really seeing him, a lot of action inside the car. We saw him throw items out. It looked like papers. Well, right as I said that, it started up again. That's what we were seeing earlier.
Yeah, it looks as if he's back on his cell phone, hands on the steering wheel, off the steering wheel, back on, throwing up with the hands. Now he's leaning out.
Out the window, yeah.
Obviously on the cell phone now. So again, I don't know if this guy here actually has a plan.
Yeah, here's a better shot. I doubled in even more to show. And he's angry. He's angry, and I don't know who he's talking to there, but he's definitely driving angry. Wrong side of the road. Look at that. I'm going to come back out here. Look at those officers right there waiting for him on that turn. This is he's turning into a neighbor. Okay, he's turning to the police station. That's where he's at.
Of all places.
Now he's got, of all places, he's got his hands
out
right in front of Devonshire Station.
Yeah, it looks like he's got his hands out ready to give up. Never a safe situation, though. It's not done until it's done. These officers want to make sure that this is handled all by procedure, so they'll be issuing commands, right, Gil?
Yes, definitely. They're telling him to do so right now. He's complying with their demands. He's doing exactly what he's supposed to do, but again, right in front of the police station, which is very convenient for the officers.
And as I mentioned before, of all places, again, on his cell phone, we saw some pretty erratic and dramatic hand gestures come from this guy just seconds before he made that turn there into the police station. So again, on the cell phone, possibly with somebody who was talking him into arriving there at that particular location.
That would be nice. It's a nice end to that. Nobody injured. You always have to hold your breath when something like this happens. Someday when a lot of people are out in this pursuit, stayed in a residential area throughout in the Granada Hills area.
All right, so Gil, at this point, we see the suspect there on the ground. The officers are barking commands at him. They will obviously, again, check the car as well.
Yeah, and in fact, they're about to do that right now. They're going to move in on both the suspect and the car. There you can see the officers on the right-hand side of your screen. They're pretty confident there's no one else in the vehicle as those officers stand there. They're taking him into custody. They'll clear the trunk of the vehicle to make sure no one's in there. And that'll be that. And I guess they'll just walk him into the station here unless they want to take him to the West Valley station. That's who initiated this pursuit, was West Valley LAPD. But there's the trunk opening, they're checking it, and this one's over right in front of the police station.
All right, Gil Davis, thank you so much. Of course, we'll have more on this pursuit on later editions here on the Channel 4 News.
All right, at 5:24 here right